Welcome to episode 1 of the Explosive Strength Podcast with Jared Bidne. The purpose of this podcast is going to be to teach strength conditioning, give insight on what I do, and write about the things that happen at the gym, good or bad. And for those of you that do not know, I own and operate the gym, Explosive Mechanics. Explosive Mechanics is an athletes only gym where I train athletes from elementary to professional. I also work with special needs, powerlifters, and different sport teams. I also prep athletes for combines, showcases, and pro days. Like I said, we're athletes only. We don't deal with the average population, and we do not deal with the fitness fluff or have to worry about fitness people. I opened Explosive Mechanics in 2008 with the purpose of training athletes and athletes only, but training athletes with science and being a lot more scientific than I've seen before. My goal is to learn as much as I possibly can and pass the knowledge on to others and help others be better than what I am. That's part of being a coach. If I can train an athlete to be better than what I was or what I am now, I feel that I'm doing my job. And that's my whole purpose, is to really help people see that they can be much better than they think they can even be. Explosive has been science from the start. If you look at the logo of Explosive Mechanics, you know that there's a barbell between explosive and mechanics, because without developing the proper strength, you'll never have explosive mechanics in any sport or anything that you do, because strength is the connecting factor. And explosiveness is a percentage of your maximum strength, and without high strength, your ability to produce explosiveness could be relatively low. And as far as mechanics, if you look at the definition of mechanics, it's a branch of applied mathematics dealing with motion and tendencies to motion. It's describing exactly what I do. I deal with bodies, manipulating sets, reps, training at different volumes and different intensities to help these athletes get from point A to point B. And explosive just describes the type of mechanics needed for sport. So I needed a scientific name for a scientific gym, and that's how the name Explosive Mechanics was formed. So with Explosive Mechanics, it was going to be more science-based training and applying it to athletes to figure out if the stuff actually does or does not work. Sometimes you can read an article in a peer-reviewed journal, research journal, just a even general magazine. They're talking about different things. Hey, I see this or that. So what I like to do is I like to read, study, then I like to apply it to my athletes, and we test at the end of each month to see whether this stuff is or is not working. I track results on a monthly basis. Results I'm looking for, I want them to run faster, I want them to jump higher, and I actually want them to be stronger. So all that's tracked on a monthly basis. That way I can show that the athletes, when we're working, we're actually getting something out of it, and that way they can see that they're improving. And if it does not work, I throw it out. I'm not manipulated by anybody. I don't have employees. I just kind of run everything myself. I do have athletes that do help me. And if stuff does work, we keep it. If it does not work, we'll change next month and keep going. So I need to make sure that when someone's paying me to train them, that they're actually getting what they pay for. And me being pressured, or I feel like I'm pressured, because I don't want to let anybody down. I want them to get stronger. I want them to get faster. I want them to believe in themselves. Since opening Explosive Mechanics in 2008, I have trained 3 world record holders for the International Powerlifting Federation. I've had 4 guys make it to the NFL that have trained with me since they were in high school. I've had 2 guys make it to the MLB. 2 guys have also been picked up to play overseas basketball. I've had 1 girl sign a professional overseas volleyball contract, 1 LPGA Tour player, 1 linebacker to play as a true freshman for Clemson and actually win a national championship. I've had 1 athlete on the Lou Groza watch list 2 years in a row. I've had 6 athletes play as true freshmen in NCAA Division I football, and I've also had 83 plus athletes sign college scholarships. I have trained the high school volleyball team 2 years in a row, and the 2 years they won back-to-back state championships. I've trained the NCAA Division II basketball team. Clint State Lakers won back-to-back conference championships. I've had a guy win back-to-back state championships in shot put, Ryan Spieka. And when he got to college, he also broke the college record the first week he was there, and the next week he turned around and broke his own record. And the same thing again his second year there. Also trained state champion Drew Anderson in the discus. I've had 19 athletes achieve a 40-plus inch vertical. I've helped 14 high school athletes squat 500 plus, 3 to squat 600 plus. I've had 9 high school athletes bench 400 plus. I've trained the number 1 vertical jumper in the country for football. 3 of them were in the top 10, and 7 in the top 50, and 11 in the top 100 in the country. That's around 40,000 kids being tested, and I had 11% of the top 100. I've had 50 plus people improve more than 5/10 of a second in a 40-yard dash. The improvements keep coming. That's what I want. But like I said earlier in this, the purpose of this podcast is going to be to take my knowledge, pass it on to others. If you would like questions answered, you can email me at info@explosivemechanics.com or on Instagram @explosivemechanics or Twitter @explosivemec. I'll do my best to answer your questions and try to keep this thing rolling. This first podcast is just going to be basically just this introductory, and next one, we'll see what happens. So anyway, I'll do my best to answer your questions. Thank you, and have a good day.